All right, we're back. Dr. J here again with my good bud Jason.
Hello.
Answered some questions in the last video. I think it'd be good to continue to go through some other questions that you have. Again, Jason doesn't have a ton of experience with chiropractic. He's been there just a little bit, a long time ago after a wreck. Is that correct?
One time after a car accident.
All right. Did it help you?
I want to say yes, but I was so confused of the whole. So basically, what I got was I got a couple of neck adjustments.
Yeah.
I got some sort of electric pad on the affected area. A couple procedures of that. They put me on this rolling table, and then they sent me home with a pillow full of what it looked like a big ice pack. It was like a pillow full of gel, and then a pillow that had a big dent in the middle.
And they didn't do a really good job of explaining to you what they were doing, correct?
Yeah, I had no idea what the pillows were for. I had no idea what the wave table was for. The electric thing was cool, like the little pad was cool, but I knew that it had something to do with muscle stimulation. I'd seen like Bruce Lee use it, but I had no idea what they were doing.
Well, this is a really common complaint that we get. One thing that I think really sets us apart from a lot of other chiropractors out there is we have a process of, first of all, identifying if we can help you with what you have going on, okay? So the first visit that you come in, we go through the process of identifying, is this something we can help you with? And if it is, what's it gonna take to get you better? And we bring you back for a second appointment to go over everything that we found, and then, if we can help you, we're gonna lay out the plan, what your insurance is gonna cover, what the out-of-pocket expenses are gonna be, so there's gonna be literally no confusion. We're gonna go over, why we're giving you a pillow, or what we're recommending for you, so it's not the experience that you had. And again, we hear this all the time. So just know that if you decide to come in to see us, it's going to be very clear as far as what's going on, if we can help you, how long it's going to take, how much it's going to cost, why you're getting recommended a pillow or whatever. Okay.
Yeah, that was one of my biggest concerns with chiropractics. Was it's not like they didn't do a terrible job and it didn't leave like a bad impression on me.
Yeah.
I was just so confused. Like if I were to go in, I would say, okay, well, clearly my neck hurts, but I don't want you to give me everything and assume that I know what I'm doing because I know nothing.
Right. Yep. I mean, it makes a ton of sense to me. Yeah.
So one thing, you mentioned when you gave me my adjustment the other day that we already talked about the hip problems, but you also pointed out, without even asking me before, it's how creepy chiropractors are. You knew that I had flat
creepy
feet.
Chiropractors. Thank you. That's the endorsement of the year right there.
But no, so it's just so you understand the human body in such a way that just based off of that one thing, you have the assumption I have flat feet, and I do. So what's one thing that I can do? You mentioned orthotics, but is there some sort of treatment plan as far as like what I should be doing every day? Because again, you said over time that's really going to show as I age. So what should I be doing as far as from a chiropractic standpoint to remedy my flat foot situation?
Okay, so from a chiropractic standpoint, we're going to be able to, first of all, identify it. I mean, just to give a little backstory, Jason he's a little bit bow-legged. So right there, I knew his feet were flat, okay? Which is going to, over time, cause a biomechanical issue all the way up into his spine, which is why your hips are so off, because it's actually, your problem is coming from your feet, one of your problems, okay? So what we would do in our office is we'd fit you for an orthotic, a custom orthotic for your feet, because we scan every new patient that comes in, we scan your feet, because we see a lot of people with these issues, and they think, buying a good pair of shoes, or they go into Walmart and get the thing off the rack, it's gonna help you. It's gonna help you more than just nothing, okay? But we'll do a scan on your feet to see exactly what's going on. We can fit you for a custom orthotic to actually help the biomechanics. As what'll happen is, if you have these flat feet, which we know you do, we're gonna line you up, all right? And we're gonna get the hips back in line, we're gonna line the spine up, but what's gonna happen is you're gonna walk out and you're gonna undo everything because your feet, right? So feet connected to knees, knees connected to hips, hips connected to back, right? There's your biomechanical chain all the way up. Okay. So with you, in order to actually fix your issue, we're gonna have to put an orthotic in your foot. And that's the thing, is when you come in, we're gonna identify what it's gonna take to fix it. Now we can also identify what it's gonna take to feel better. Certainly fine too, but to fix the problem, it just takes a little bit longer. I like that guy's voice behind us.
Still on the topic of feet. So orthotic would help. Now I've noticed I spend a lot of my time on my feet. I'm running around in the office. I have a standing desk, and about 12 o'clock, I wear these leather dress shoes, and they're wood on the bottom.
Look great, by the way.
Thank you. I noticed Johnston Murphy's. I noticed though that my heels at the very back of my left and right heel will start to feel hot. So I feel like I'm putting a lot of pressure at the heel of my foot. Is that something, is posture another thing that the orthotic would help with or would like address, or is that something completely different?
So it will, right? But with you as well, we'd adjust your feet. Okay. Because just like the spine, you can identify the areas of the spine that are misaligned. There's areas of the foot that'll misalign too. So we have been trained to identify that and correct that. Now, on top of that, for you, we would use our laser on your heel because what'll happen too is your Achilles tendon, which is the big ropey thing on the back of your foot, which attaches to your heel, it'll get stressed, it'll get stretched out, okay? And it'll cause pain in that heel. So in order to fix that for you, so orthotics, adjust the feet, adjust the spine, we do laser on the Achilles. Now what the laser does is it brings blood full of oxygen to an area, and that's actually what the body needs to heal, which will pull out that inflammation, which will just right away decrease pain, but it's actually going to go in there and heal those little micro tears more likely that are in that Achilles tendon.
Okay.
All right. So the laser is a part of a lot of the plans that we do for patients because it really helps to speed up the healing process and fix it.
I gotcha. So as I'm asking these questions and you're answering, I'm getting even more like I'm connecting dots. So you said that the ankle's connected to the heel, Achilles tendon. I get stupid savage Achilles tendon cramps when I run, and I know that it's not because of how I flex my ankle. I would assume now it's because of I'm flat-footed, and
so
that
the whole biomechanical structure is off on your whole foot. All right, and without knowing, you already know you're getting back issues. I mean,
lower back a little bit.
I do know you, but I mean, without treating you or doing an X-ray on you or anything like that, I guarantee you're getting a little back issues because of everything you just told me about your foot. Feet are the foundation. Feet are the foundation, right? So
that's right.
You're on them all day. You just said it.
Yeah.
Right? If something's wrong with that, it's going to go all the way up.
Okay. Then let's see. Outside of that, so if I come to see you guys, you said that you do a like some sort of foot adjustment. Am I going to get that if I go to like an orthopedic doctor?
No. So totally different model of care, right? So orthopedic doctors are really good at doing a surgery if you broke your leg. Okay, orthopedic surgeons. They're really good at casting you if you broke your foot. All right, they're gonna send you off for physical therapy for most things functional.
Oh.
Okay. Which again, there's nothing wrong with physical therapy. So I'm not here saying physical therapy is bad. In your case, it's not gonna help you a ton. We gotta fix the structure, which will then fix the function.
Okay. Wait. So if I went to an orthopedic doctor, let's say I'm having like terrible feet pain, I haven't broken anything, they are going to send me off to somebody who's going to help fix the function, but they're going to send me to a physical therapist, not a chiropractor.
They're going to which is going to stretch and strengthen for you.
Okay.
Which is fine. You got to do that, right? I mean, but a lot of times you can find this stuff online.
True.
Right? The old Google machine.
Yeah. Let's see. Other questions that I would have. So we talked about recurring maintenance. Talked about my feet issues. When it comes to adjustments, I love to crack my own neck. I do it every single day. When I'm stressed, sometimes I'll even do it like it's just like a tick, and I don't even know I'm doing it until I hear it pop. I'm like, oh, I did it again.
Britney song.
Is that okay? Am I going to be causing damage? Because there's that whole myth: if you crack your knuckles too much, you're going to give yourself arthritis. And to me, that's just air escaping. It also feels crazy awesome, but from a professional who cracks backs for a living.
Adjust spines.
That's the technical term. Am I doing long-term damage doing that? Is that something like?
Let's just take a step back as far as why you feel like you have to do that, right? Like probably you get some tension in the neck.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, oh man, I need to do that to make it feel better. Okay. So we don't adjust anyone until we take an X-ray, and there's a reason behind that. We want to identify if there's anything crazy going on. Like just a quick story. I first got out of practice, and I had a guy come in with low back pain. All right. I just met him out at an event, and he came in. And if I would have just adjusted him, it would have been back because he actually had an aneurysm in his stomach this big.
Oh.
Okay. So part of the X-ray is to identify crazy stuff. So we literally sent him out that day for emergency surgery. Okay. Nice. I'm not saying that you have that, but that's the crazy stuff that we'll look for to make the determination if chiropractic is right for you. Okay. So back to the whole initial point on that, which is we got to see what bone has moved out of alignment in the exact way it's gone out, because then we adjust it to move it back into the proper position.
Gotcha.
Okay. So for example, if a bone's moved this way, we're going to move it back this way. But you got to retrain it to stay in a proper position. So sometimes frequency is higher in the beginning because you've got to retrain these bones to stay in a better position. It's used to being out of alignment.
Right.
Okay. Adjust a day or two. We adjust you, and within a day or two, it's going to move back out. Okay. Time to adjust again. So for your initial question, is that going to cause long-term damage? I mean, maybe not. But there's a reason why you're feeling that tightness in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you get the bones realigned in a proper position to take the pressure off the nerve, okay, which would take the tension out of the muscles, you won't feel the need to do that.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Does that answer your
It does.
question?
Yeah, no, it definitely does. So I'm not hurting myself, but there are underlying issues if I'm feeling like I have to crack my neck.
Yeah, and the underlying issue is you're going to wait so long that you're going to come in and it's going to be a real big issue then.
Right.
Okay, now you're just in the beginning of the misalignment phase.
Gotcha. So my final question is, you touched on this a lot, the importance of x-rays. So when I went for my first initial chiropractor visit, luckily they did do an x-ray.
Great.
So
Good.
it wasn't anything that wouldn't be a cause for alarm. But they talked about this like briefly on the Rogan podcast, where you have chiropractors like yourself that follow medicine and do a great job. Then you have some people who just collect on it's cash just for making people feel better.
Yep.
So that's a telltale sign of somebody who knows what they're doing. Is if you go in and they say, hey, before we touch any part of your body at all, address any pain, we have to look at the internal elements.
You're going to do an evaluation.
Yeah.
Something like an exam.
Yeah, exactly.
Like make sure that we're not going to do no harm. Right. That's one of the big things about being a doctor. Do no harm.
Right.
Right? And you got to look into it, see what's going on, so you know what to do to not do any harm.
Right.
And we're talking about 99.999% of the patients that walk in our door are eligible for care. Really, it is. Okay. What they need is all different. That's a whole different ballgame as far as determining what they need. Because in the end, I always tell patients this: there's one of three things going on. First thing we're going to rule out, and then we can't help you with. We just talked about that. But two, you either got an alignment issue or a disc issue, right? So when we say alignment issue, if you look at the spine from front to back, you want it to be straight.
Right.
Alignment issue would be a kink, a turn, okay? Alignment issue pinches the nerve. Or the disc is the padding between the bones. The disc can bulge back, it can shrink, it can cause issues.
Right.
So we got to determine what that is, and once we determine what that is, then we see what to do with it.
Okay. So the last question I have is your treatment process and your evaluation process. If I'm coming in to see you guys, because again, I've had the awesome pleasure of having you adjust me, but if I'm coming in as a new customer, what am I going to get as far as the evaluation goes with Healthworks?
Yeah. We're going to do what we call our once exam. So we do orthopedic testing, nerve testing, chiropractic exam, and x-rays. We're also going to treat you on the first day. So I want to see, once I have a chance to look at the x-rays, I want to see how you do that first adjustment. It helps me determine what works best for you, how to treat you, so it gives me a ton of information as far as what to do with you. But on the first day, it's very thorough. You'll spend, probably about an hour with us, maybe a little bit more. But the goal would be to help you walk out feeling a little bit better, and then the ultimate goal is to figure out what we do to fix it.
Awesome. Well, that's all the questions I have.
Appreciate it, man.
Thanks, sir.
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
you.